Hello, amazing people. My name is Najuma Bena and I'm a growth coach. I'm so excited to bring you a part two of the episode on trade-offs on our personal growth journey. And in this session, we are basically looking at some of the insights that make these trade-offs really work for us. For us to grow, we have to give up something. Yeah, we've mentioned it even previously. And one of the questions that we should be asking ourselves this time around is that, what are you willing to give up for you to grow? What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up the most valuable things in your life? Because you have to trade with your time, you have to trade with your priorities, and that is how we can grow. So we should be able to look through our lives and see what is the most valuable things, what valuable thing do I have? What do I hold on to so much that only when I learn how to play with these priorities, it's how I can grow. Yes, we can never grow without giving up something. You have to give up something. It is like a trade, real trade, that you have to exchange one thing for the other. So one thing that happens when we trade off is that our results, some of the results do not come so early. You know, it seems like it's a loss. Some trade-offs seem like a loss, especially when we are trying out new things. When we try out new things, new options, new choices, we walk on a journey that is like less traveled. So sometimes we face challenges, sometimes we face problems, we are challenged, we are stretched, we have to put in a lot of effort, we have to consult, because you're doing something that you've never done, and it's the only option that is best for you. Because for us to grow, we have to keep stretching. So some of the results for the things that we do never come instantly. It can take a week, it can take months, it can even take a decade for you to reap. It means that for us to grow, we have to normalize making these decisions, and which decisions do not yield results immediately. So that should be normal in our lives as we trade off. That as you're starting a coaching business, as you're teaching people, you might not get all the results that you want, but you're planting and you bear fruits at some point, maybe after days. You know, you grow a community like a growth orchard that I have, you grow a class, you know, you build a community, you impact your society. It might not come in a day, you know, you might not get the profits in one day for your business, but it doesn't mean that the business is not right. So that is exactly what happens with the trade-offs. And guess what? Also, some of the trade-offs can be done at any point in our lives. For instance, when we are young, we we have not yet built, we are innocent, but as we keep growing up, it means that we understand the trade-offs, we understand the options, we understand the power of choices that we make, because they will determine our goals, they will determine our vision, they will determine our results, and they will determine how far we go. So when we keep on growing and learning, it means that we have a price to pay. And guess what? The price is high always. You know, the price is high. When people are accountable to you, when you're building, when you're growing a community, when you're transforming people's lives, when you're teaching people in these sessions, it means that they are counting on you. And guess what? It has a price. You have to put in effort, you have to research, you have to show up, you have to be consistent. And that is a trade-off, and that is a cost. And guess what? You have to do that, and the results will not be so, you know, instant, but it doesn't mean that it's not a right option. So that should be normal, that there is a cost and there is a price that you pay. And also, one of the other things about trade-offs is that anytime in your life you can trade off. Sometimes you trade off when you're young, sometimes you trade off in your in your midlife, and even in your later days. You keep building and you keep growing, because there is no limit to our growing. Our growing is a progressive thing, and it should be normal that At any time when we make up our minds, we can cause a change in our lives. And that is exactly what I'm trying to mean, that the trade-offs do not have a limit. You can decide to give up bad habits for good ones at any time. And guess what? Your life will work out. It will work out because there are principles to success. There are principles to this life that when you sow, you eventually reap. You know, when you do good things, you eventually reap out of the things that you do. And also the trade-offs are good because they give us purpose for our lives, you know, because we are not only just living, but we've known that life has dynamics. There is a way you have to, if it's chess, there is a way you have to make moves. You know, you can't go through life without making moves, and we have to be making good moves. And those are the ones we mentioned, that the successful people, the good people, make so many good trade-offs. Average people make few trade-offs, and unsuccessful people end up making bad trade-offs. So we should be able to make the good trade-offs that will maximize our potential and yield high results. And also, when we trade off, it means that we learn how to cause change in our lives. We can never grow, we can never trade off without changing. So it should be normal that for us to grow, for us to live, for us to improve, we keep changing. It means that you'll be a better version of yourself because you have to change. You have to change your environment, you have to change your options, you have to try out new things. Yes, you have to try out new things. And also, there is a writer called Carl Bard. He said that we can never run away from trading off, because even when we cannot change where we've come from. We cannot change where we've come from, but there is always a chance to end up better. You can never wake up and you're completely a brand new Bena. You erase your past, but you can work through your past and have a better ending and have a better you along the way. So guess what? We can never stay in one place, get stuck. We have to take bold steps, not fear failure, but continuously choose options that allow us to grow. Yes. And guess what? The other last bit of this session is some trade-offs are not worth the price. For example, some trade-offs might not be right. So that's where consultation comes in. That's where growing in a class comes in. That's where learning comes in, because for us to grow, we have to keep learning and we have to be teachable. Most of the times when we keep growing, it so happens that people stop learning, they become complacent, and they think they know it all. We should never be in that space. We should continuously be teachable so that we sustain our growth and we sustain our success. Yes, and that's been amazing. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being a part of the session. And thank you for checking out on the YouTube channel. I still welcome you to subscribe on my YouTube channel to check out on the information out there, the previous sessions that we've had on my TikTok, on my Instagram, and on my Facebook. All the sessions are out there. You should be able to check in and keep following. Thank you so much, my audience. I remain Bena Najuma, and I'm your growth coach. Thank you so much.